Hi, and welcome to this latest video. Today, I'm not talking about legal issues, but we're talking about personal and professional development, which is so important during these times. And what I want to talk about today is building confidence and improving performance in uncertain times. So today, I've got the real pleasure of being joined by Dani Grieveson. Dani's an executive performance coach. Dani, thank you so much for being willing to come on today. It's fantastic to have you. Just tell us a bit about what you do, a bit about yourself and who you work with.
Adam, thank you very much. Well, it's an absolute delight to be with you in that snazzy background. Oh, excuse me, stuttering to get started, but I'll be clearer from here. So thank you for asking. What I do is essentially improve the lives of teams and individuals. I work in the field of leadership development, which probably a bit like law is a massive world. So to bring it down to basics of what I do, I really work within people and within teams to develop them in their potential, their performance and their productivity. So that's a little bit about what I do. But like we've spoken about Simon Sinek, the why is so powerful. Why do I do this? Well, I've come from a background working with some pretty snazzy brands such as Rolls-Royce. I was UK marketing manager for Rolls-Royce motor cars, Coca-Cola. I did the Olympics back in 2012, and I worked for Lord March over at Goodwood. Those of you that are into your cars, you'll know that down there. And then I spent 5 years working in an automotive retail business, coaching sales and marketing performance. And what I realized is that when we work in a high pressure, high performance environment, it can lead to challenging things such as stress, burnout over a long time. And I really wanted to do something to step up and step in and mitigate that in realizing human potential. So that's what I do.
That's great. And I suppose 2020 for all of us has been a very high pressure year so far. So what are the sort of issues you're finding people are facing? You know, a lot of my audience are lawyers or professionals, business owners. What are the sort of things that people are coming to you about now?
Great question. And yeah, 2020 has been an incredibly strange year. And in a world that was quite uncertain with Brexit anyway, it's brought about a deeper uncertainty in every avenue of our life, Adam. Be that financial, be that health, be that family, be that the homes that we live in. Uncertainty abounds, and I've really seen that people are coming to me, and lawyers specifically. I've seen a gentle uplift of lawyers coming to me for that certainty. But particularly with lawyers, I've learned that over their lifetime, lawyers, you tend to be very high achieving. So at school, academically high achieving, again into university, very high achieving, and you come out and you're used to achieving. But this time has pressed pause on all of that achievement being able to take place. And what I've sensed that's led to is that this feeling of, am I good enough, creeping in. What can I do? What's certain about me? Where is my voice? What value does my voice have? So all of those factors people have come to me with. And why I'm smiling is there was a really interesting one at the beginning of lockdown. A woman came to me and she said, Dani, I really feel I've lost my mojo lately. And I love that that's what she said. And I said, don't you worry. I used her name, but of course confidential. And I said, don't you worry, I'm an expert mojo finder. And honestly, three months later, she said in one session, she said, Dani, I feel so sexy and powerful right now. And I love that she said that. So that is what I do. I go within, I go deep, and I really like to transform people so that they do feel valued, stronger, sexy potentially, but certainly more powerful in who they are. So that's what I do, and that's what I found people are coming to me for.
So how do we get our mojo back? How do we improve confidence at this time when people have been really rocked by uncertainty and challenged, you know, what they've built their lives and professions on? How do we build that confidence and improve performance in 2020?
Well, there are lots of things that you can do, Adam, but I make no bones about it. Arm yourself with the right people, perhaps engage with a coach to do that with. Make sure you've got the support of your team, your family, your friends. Connect with those people that really, really strengthen you, and if needs be, do get a quote. And I love this. Do get a quote. Do get a coach. I love this quote from Benjamin Disraeli, the former UK Prime Minister. He said, "We are not creatures of circumstance. We are creators of circumstance." So to translate that into what's happening all around us, this uncertain time, we create our reality in this situation. So another great quote, you'll understand, I love a point of reference, was from Ralph Waldo Emerson. "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us." So dig deep, find out what is within you and build on that. So what I suggest is take a pen and write down the top 5 points about you as an individual. What is within you? And then understand that and look at how you can create your own circumstance with that. And if needs be, get a coach alongside you.
No, that's fantastic. I think it reminds me of that quote about being a thermostat rather than being a thermometer. We're not just here to tell the temperature, we're to change the temperature.
I love that. Yeah, love that.
A lot of people listening may be business owners who employ people, and a lot of their employees perhaps going through a tough time, may have been furloughed, maybe having to take extra people's workload on. How do we improve the confidence, perhaps develop those skills, those talents of our employees during this time?
Great question. And I think as a leader, it boils down to three steps. But firstly, before you even take these steps, Adam, it's know what you want to achieve with your team. Be specific about your outcome. Is it that there's a performance gap? Is it that you want your team to feel more trusted in this time? What is it that you want to do for your team? And then as a leader, as a business owner, as a leader of a team, you have a 70% influence on the outcome of that team. So really understand and know that. So first things first, the first step would be see the situation as it is. See whatever situation it is that you want to improve as it is, but not worse than it is. So understand the truth about that situation, but don't make it a catastrophe. See it as it is. Secondly, the important step is see it better. Have that outcome in your mind. What is that outcome that you want it to be? So see it better than it is. And third step, which is where all the action comes and the impact, is make it that way. So how do you do that? You take targeted action and repeated action to make it that way. We have to dig deep in this time. So that would be my 3-step process to answer that one for you, Adam.
And just in terms of, I want to be as practical as I can for people. What are the sort of little practical steps people can put into their day to increase their performance? I know you've been doing a series of daily videos or some daily tips. Just pick some of those for us. Give us some daily practical takeaways. If somebody could think, give me a couple of things, Dani, I can just put in my day that'll start to turn that dial on the thermostat. What would you say?
I love that. You're absolutely right, Adam. It is about having those daily habits that are good for you. So again, take your pen and write a list of those habits and be really honest with yourself. Be honest with the habits that are good for you and those that aren't so good for you. So start with the list of your habits. So it could be that you spend a bit too much time on LinkedIn or Instagram or social media somehow. That could be a bad habit of yours, and that you're consequently not spending as much time with your family, or you're not spending as much time enriching your team as you perhaps feel you should do. And then your good habits that really, really buoy you up, make you robust, that morning run, that morning meditation, yoga session, whatever it is that makes you feel more at peace with yourself, ready to go again. the other habits are you connecting? You connecting with the right people, the people in your team? Are you reaching out saying, hey, are you okay? Or I noticed in that Zoom meeting you weren't quite engaged. What's going on for you here? And how can I help as a leader? So those are a few things that I would suggest building into habits and daily habits, because those habits start building a muscle of whatever it is you want to improve: courage, performance, productivity, trust, collaboration. But those small daily habits will actually build that muscle and then become a bigger outcome.
You actually, just picking up on that, you mentioned going for a run every day or doing some yoga. Obviously, a lot of us are stuck in front of computers now. We're zoomed out. We've had so many Zoominars every day. Why is sort of physical practices important for us professionals at this time?
Well, first things foremost, actually exercise, yoga, it improves your brain function. So why is that important? It improves your memory, your focus. So the more exercise you can do, by no means am I saying spend 2-3 hours a day, but the more you can do, 20 minutes here and there, your brain function first and foremost is going to be supported. Also, with this Zoom time and screen time, our back, neck and shoulders are absolutely not enjoying life at all. We all probably sit up a little bit straighter as I mentioned that. I was with a great friend of mine who's a physio a couple of weekends ago. Our spines, he's seeing a lot of spinal compression. So movement will help lubricate your body, really softening different areas of your body. So I can't advocate for a little bit of movement. Just 20 minutes to start your day is certainly going to be a vehicle that helps you.
And just in terms of resources, we've mentioned practices. Are there things you recommend in terms of books people read, things online, people to check out? We'll come to what you offer in a minute, but just in terms of what resources are out there that you'd encourage people to check out and maybe been really helpful at this time.
Oh no, I wasn't angling towards what I offer. I am full of resources. I really lean on, fresh information and new information. It keeps me going and it keeps me growing. And just 2 amazing books I've got behind me, actually, because I recommend them so often. One, if you haven't read it, is Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. Now, this is written by a psychiatrist who lived through 3 concentration camps in the Holocaust, and he writes it from a psychological perspective. And where he says man's search for meaning, it's about finding hope and meaning in that grave situation. You probably don't need me to talk about what dreadful human behavior went on, but by no means are we in a Holocaust situation, but we certainly don't know when this is ending, Adam. So this will really help anchor hope and meaning from a psychological perspective. And then another book that I really recommend, that was recommended to me by a clinical psychologist, is The Happiness Track by Emma Seppala, PhD from Stanford University, American. The reason I like that is it's not happiness jazz hands. It's actually really credible scientific research that is all cited at the back of the book. So that will talk to you about how being happy actually leads to success and gives you a few avenues of joy and happiness to increase your success. It's a tremendous book.
Now, they're great resources, and what I'll try and do, I'll get the links for those books and put them beneath the description for this video. So if people want to go and spend some more money on Amazon, they can do that and get those helpful resources. Dani, in terms of you personally, then, how can you help people? If people want to contact you, what services do you offer people and teams? I know you've got an online event coming up. Just tell us about the sort of things you can offer people.
Thank you. Thanks, Adam. So I do one-to-one professional and personal development. So that's essentially coaching. I do team collaboration and coaching as well. And I also do a little bit of speaking. And as I said, I'm not a motivational speaker. I don't relate to motivational speaking. That Ralph Waldo Emerson about what's within us, I really do like to find intelligence in what I do and go deep. So that's what I do. And I'm doing a TEDx talk when the theatres open back up. So that date is TBC. So one-to-one coaching, team collaboration and coaching, and a little bit of speaking too.
And if people want to get in touch with you, I'll put your different links below, but what's the best way to reach out to you?
They can email me at Dani, D-A-N-I, one N, one I, nothing complicated, Dani at liftthislife.co.uk, because I'm all about lifting work and daily life.
Dani, thank you so much for talking to me today. You've given plenty of practical advice, which will help lift people during this time. And I think it's what a lot of us need going forward as we face these challenges, and hopefully come out the other side with more confidence, increased performance, and can see ourselves and our teams grow in productivity. So thank you so much, Dani, for joining me today.
Adam, my pleasure. Thank you for such a vibrant conversation with you.
All the best. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.